Thinking. What is thinking in music? Well, the thinking vocabulary in music is what I call the audiation improvisation vocabulary. By the way, please notice as I'm not pointing out all of this as I go along, but notice I haven't talked about reading yet, because sequentially reading is the fourth vocabulary. Most students are taught to read prematurely. They don't have a listening vocabulary, they don't have a speaking vocabulary, and yet they're asked to learn how to read. And so most of them don't actually interpret notation, they decode. They explain theoretically. Oh, that's a half note, that's a quarter note. But they can't look at notation and audiate it and hear it silently before it's performed, because they don't have the listening and the speaking vocabularies. So please keep in mind, I'm putting reading on the back burner where it belongs, and theory. Remember that when the child says mommy, the first word, the mother doesn't say, that's a noun. Good mommy, oh, that's an adjective now. But think of, oh, that's a major third, or that's a whole note. It's so silly what we do when we teach theory and reading prematurely. We literally imprison all musical development. So the third vocabulary, I've used the word audiation. I don't know how many of you know what it is, but a quick definition of audiation is to music what thought is to language. It's to be able to hear silently music, but not only to hear it silently, but to give it meaning. For example, if I said to you right now, would you please hear jingle bells? Are you audiating? I have no way of knowing, but I can begin to find out. And I'll say, ba-dum-bum, jingle bells starts with a 1 chord, goes to a 4, back to a 1, and what is the next chord? Ba-dum. Well, somebody who's audiating would hear that it's a 2/7 sharp 4. That to me, you're saying no, right? Okay, well, you see what I'm trying to say, and I don't mean to be pushy or mean. Please don't misunderstand me. But if I can say you and I, and I'm significantly older than you are, we all, most of us, have been taught improperly, out of sequence. And that's why the average person, the average professional musician, cannot improvise. It's not that they're stupid or unmusical, it's that they don't have the listening and the singing and chanting vocabulary to improvise from. You can't improvise in a vacuum. You can't improvise theoretically. You have to have it in your audiation vocabulary, so you have choices, and you make choices and you improvise. So if I say to you now, would you please audiate something in Mixolydian? Would you audiate something in Dorian? Or bum-be-da-da-ba-bum, ba-be-da-da-ba-bum, ba-be-da-da-ba-bum, and I'd say, do you audiate this as major? Yes, you do. Now please audiate the rest of the tune. La-dee-da-bum-bum-bum. You audiate that as a modulation to Phrygian. That's musicianship. That's what music education is all about. To get to that point, that third vocabulary, where persons can begin to audiate chord changes. Where I can say to you, okay, for example, would you over here, would you sing do, would you this group, do, would you sing me, not helping, do, so. And if I do this, sing ti, fa, sol, fa, ti, do, mi, so, mi, chords, do, fa, la, beginning. La, la, di, do, mi, so, mi, do. La, la, di, la, 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 la. La, la, di, la, 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 di, la, la. Okay, audiation exercise. Please audiate a tune that has this in it. Can you think of another tune? That's audiation. And that's the third vocabulary. And you can do it if you have a listening and a speaking vocabulary. If you're minus those two vocabularies, you're at a loss. So when we teach sequentially, listening in learning theory, singing, and then we get to improvisation as soon as possible. I'd like to say something to you that you might find hard to believe. But in the research we do, we find that if you teach improvisation as soon as possible, you literally don't have to teach reading. It teaches itself. Because once you can teach somebody to improvise, they automatically know what's in the notation. They audiate it. They don't have to decode it. They look at it and they audiate it, and so they read. Reading becomes a very natural thing. In the same way with my children, when they were very young, they associated words with the words that I had taught them to speak. If children can hear yum bum bum, you just simply say that's what it looks like, and they're reading. Without knowing it's a major third, or without knowing it's a half note or a whole note or a quarter note, not necessary. If they can audiate it, you show them what it looks like. That's how reading happens. Well, I'm not saying don't teach reading, but it sure makes your job a heck of a lot easier. If persons can automatically audiate what they see. Am I getting to you? Say yes.
Yes.
Okay. It's so important, that third vocabulary. I'm a jazz musician. All of my professional experience is jazz. Some of the greatest musicians I've ever known are great audiators. They may not read. They probably know nothing about theory. If I started mentioning names to you, you would know them, and they knew nothing about theory. Big ears. Just audiate. They didn't care what you call it. It's just how you do it. What is it? Don't name it. As a matter of fact, many of them didn't trust persons who could name it, because they said most persons who can name it can't audiate, can't hear it.